Part 37. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 361. Then he took back the drop of Kirin blood that Xianzong of the Qing dynasty had captured, and merged it with the token. In an instant, a dazzling light appeared in front of his eyes. A text also appeared in Xiao Xian's mind. That's about how tokens are used. The next moment, Xiao Xian's mind moved. The entrances to countless small worlds appeared before his eyes. But there is a bridge built by countless innocent souls in the middle. Xiao Xian knew that it was the soul of the underworld who died in vain. If you want to be reincarnated, you need to find a scapegoat to replace you. Otherwise, there will be no recovery. After mastering how to use the token, Xiao Xian turned around and headed in the direction of the Ye family. At the same time, Ye Shu is waiting for Ye Jun's arrival in the Ye family hall. Since that battle, her soul was affected, in order to escort Xiao Xian's soul to Ho-Tu. It even hurts the fundamentals. In addition, Hong Jun and others did not continue the pursuit. But he also lost the best chance to recover. It was the first time she felt the aura emanating from Xiao Xian's body. In order to cover up this breath, she once again split the soul to confuse the situation. As a result, the perceptions of Hong Jun and others were blinded. But his presence is gone. This world has long been controlled by those people. They will still be discovered one day. After tens of millions of years of practice, her spirit finally recovered a lot. There is also the possibility of looking for Xiao Xian again. But at this time, he suddenly discovered that Xiao Xian had broken through to the quasi-mortal level. This also attracted the attention of Tiandao. But I don't know what method he used. Not only did he hide his cultivation level, but he also concealed his aura. This scene was incredible even to her. Although I missed the opportunity to meet him. But Ye Shu knew that one day they would meet. That was when she created the Northern Territory secret realm. Xiao Xian's aura completely spread throughout the world. This scene couldn't help but attract her attention. Even the Eye of Heaven was attracted at this time. He even wanted to execute him on the spot. When she rushed over, Xiao Xian not only severely injured the Eye of Heaven, it even stimulated the potential in the body. That was the first time she looked at him so close. After a brief moment of nostalgia, Ye Shu used the technique again. Because this time his breath has been carried by the Eye of Heaven. In order to prevent the breath from being discovered by that person, there is only a chance of confusing the audience by losing one soul. Although this time the Eye of Heaven has completely fallen asleep, but her damage was huge. It was precisely because of this that one of those people attacked her. If you hadn't already made plans, I'm afraid she has now become one of the spiritual powers in this world. And this was the main reason why she didn't choose to break through. Now her soul is unstable. Even if he breaks through to the realm of Deluo Jinxian, he still cannot compete with those people. Having lost a soul, it is even more impossible for her to regain her previous strength. Even if her soul and body are fused, she still cannot reach her peak state. Xiao Xian's strength is not strong enough now. All she had to do was help him break through quickly. Because the time waiting for them is really running out. That existence was already in a vague state of awakening. If Xiao Xian cannot be allowed to grow up before this, then all this would really be in vain. Her awakening this time must have attracted Hong Jun's attention. But with his character, he would never believe that she was in a different world at this moment. So you can feel relieved about this for a short time. With her current strength, as long as those people from the prehistoric era don't come, there is no match for her in the entire universe. Therefore, we can safely help Xiao Xian break through. If that day really comes, she could only choose to break through to resist the fatal blow. Hopefully, he will be able to awaken to the mystery of the womb by then. gain all abilities from previous lives? At this time, Yejun's figure was walking towards Yeshu in a hurry. Then he knelt down in front of Yeshu excitedly. "Meet the territory lord." When he looked up again, Yeshu's expression had become indifferent, and upon closer inspection, he was exactly the same as Xiaoxian. "Thank you for your hard work these years." Yeshu's voice was extremely cold. There was no trace of emotion in his eyes. To her, the man in front of her was just a guard. Although Yejun had already prepared for this day to come. "But I still can't accept it. These years of getting along have given him a deep affection for the person in front of him." But the moment I heard Yeshuking's cold voice, Yejun quickly adjusted his mentality. "It is my blessing to be able to work for the territory lord." The catastrophe in the Northern Territory secret realm back then. Not only did it let him see Yeshu's powerful strength. Even with the strength of those people, no one dares to offend them. Even a title cannot be changed. It seems that we need to find a way to fight those people when they come. The words of several senior elders made Yejun nod heavily, looking at the person in front of me in disbelief. But when we really have to face those people, there is only one way to die. Just happened to see this scene. As soon as these words came out, many senior elders showed worried expressions. The territory lord has an order for everyone in the Ye family to maintain their original attitude. It is rumored that the head of the Xiao family is terrifyingly powerful, and his fighting power can even compete with Tianyi. If we can ask him to help us, we may have a chance of winning. She wouldn't have been like this back then. Even if it's just one day, it's enough. It also made him realize that there was an existence in this world that was even more powerful than Deluo Jingxian. One of them even stood up and expressed his doubts. He was stopped by Yejun. "I still need this identity to protect me. If I am careful, I will cause unnecessary trouble. After all, their existence was created by that woman." As soon as these words came out, Yejun fell into deep thought. What the elders said is absolutely true, even though I have broken through to the Golden Immortal. So we need to plan early. If you don't make a plan, I'm afraid it will cause disaster. But he did not choose to enter the hall, but turned around and headed to the alchemist's mansion. Then he said, "My identity cannot be revealed now, you just need to call me the same as before." But when they reached the door, Yejun's words made one of them fall into deep thought, and then he spoke. "Clan Chief, the return of the territory lord will definitely attract the attention of the upper world." Yejun heard this and had mixed feelings in his heart. Yeshu looked at the man in front of her who she had called for more than 10 years. They were all ready to come and salute her. When Xiaoxian returned to Yes house. So the moment I felt the change in Yeshu. Yejun heard this. "Yes, the domain lord's strength is greatly reduced now. If they come, they will definitely be defeated." The senior members of the Ye family naturally knew Yeshu's true identity. Let's not say whether the head of the Xiao family will agree or not. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 362. At the same time. A zone that exudes the aura of eternity. At this moment, there is an old man with an immortal spirit sitting cross-legged on the 9 heavens. The futon on his body emitted a faint purple light. There is a great destiny lingering around him. The boundless spiritual power surrounded him like an escaped elf. At that moment, it was like a god in the sky, transcendent from the world. The appearance of Xianfeng Daogu looks very much like the old immortal in the storybook. At this time, a familiar breath instantly rushed into the sky. It caused the spiritual power of heaven and earth to tremble. Above the sky, a strange color flashed away. Seeing this, the old man chanted, "Infinite Heavenly Lord, such demon gods have finally appeared." He was seen rising into the sky, and a purple aura of Hongmeng appeared at his feet. Next moment, The old man appeared at the location of the strange color. I saw a bottomless black hole appearing in front of me. Outside the black hole is a black barrier filled with infinite desires. Once ordinary people step into it, they will be swallowed up by the desires deep in their hearts. Until I lose myself. The old man looked at the scene in front of him, but did not go any further. This place is an existence that even heavenly Deo is afraid of. Even if that person is no longer here. But as long as he still has breath. This world is no longer under the control of any of them. I didn't expect that after so many years, you would still come back with the remnant of your soul. Forget it, since I was able to conquer you in that battle that year, then this time will be no exception. You alone set a precedent and caused chaos in the world. If it weren't for the control of heaven, the world would have been filled with blood. The catastrophe that happened back then, this time, I won't let him repeat you again. The old man let out a long sigh. An aura of compassion burst out from him. This scene caused countless human, animal and spiritual pets to fall into epiphany. It's the ancestor Hung Jun who is here. No wonder I had this epiphany. Ancestor Hung Jun is a being who transcends the six saints, and can be regarded as half of heaven. If you can listen to his disciples, you will be able to break through to the golden immortal. Then you are really daydreaming. The monsters here have been around for countless years. Don't still fantasize about asking people to eat them. With Ancestor Hung Jun here, what kind of demons can dare to act recklessly? Don't you know this? That person is a taboo in the entire ancient world. What, there is such a thing? The one locked up here is one of them, but he's already half dead. The spiritual beasts and pets on the side kept discussing. Then Hung Jun waved his hand. An epiphany spread out in their sea of consciousness. The heavy monster immediately kowtowed, then turned and left. Ancestor. At this moment, a figure appeared behind him. This man has a human face and a bird body, and looks like a king above the navel. Only his mouth is like an eagle's beak, green, with an angry face and exposed teeth. Below the navel is the image of an eagle. He wears a pointed crown on his head, a double-haired shawl, a celestial robe, a ring on his hand, and a golden body. The two wings behind it are red and spread outward, and its tail is drooping and spread out. At first glance, it is actually scary. This person is Kunpeng, since the last catastrophe. He has been following Ancestor Hung Jun. And under the influence of ears and eyes. Now it is the existence of Deluo Jinxian. In the ancient times, he could be considered as a half-powerful person. Have you noticed anything strange? Kunpeng stood behind Ancestor Hung Jun. His eyes are full of exploration of black holes. That person seems to have awakened. Hung Jun had a trace of worry on his face. It can be seen how terrifying the existence in the black hole is. Kunpeng's sharp eyes fell into the black hole that was so deep that he couldn't even see his fingers. Ancestor, maybe she is no longer here. Otherwise, why has there been no movement for so many years? However, Kunpeng's words were immediately opposed by Patriarch Hung Jun. No, you don't understand the existence of that person. She is the bloodline of the innate demon god. With the power of the bloodline in her body, even I am no match for him. Even if she has fallen into a deep sleep now, the spiritual power from the outside world is enough to seriously injure us. Then he detected a ray of spiritual power above the barrier. In an instant, a terrifying power came over him. Ancestor Hung Jun waved his hand, and the power disappeared without a trace. However, the place hit by that powerful force instantly turned into a vacuum zone. This scene made Kunpeng's expression change drastically. The power of just a barrier is so terrifying. In that war, do you think we were really powerful? Hung Jun's questions made Kunpeng stunned for a moment. What does ancestor mean? The catastrophe back then, with the help of heaven, only trapped the other party. If the demon god Rahu had not died, We still don't know who the final winner of that catastrophe would be. As soon as these words came out, Kunpeng was like a thunder above his head. He stood still for a moment. That person is so terrifying. There was a hint of disbelief in his voice. Ancestor Hung Jun looked up at the sky. There was a trace of almost invisible fear in his eyes. In that war, everyone will die. Not only did they lose track of them, they still underestimated that person's strength. Kunpeng was still puzzled. Why shouldn't such a terrifying existence be killed by them? After a pause, he glanced at the black hole. The location of that person has been found. If the formation is not arranged in advance, his spiritual power will be dispersed. The demon clan also suffered most of its losses under the terrifying power of this blow. This time has passed countless years. Even that terrifying existence was seriously injured at that moment. What you see will always be what I want you to see and understand. I wanted to take the opportunity to eradicate him completely. Now Wangshi's true body is about to be born. It's just a reincarnation, so why be so afraid? Although Hung Jun felt disgust in his heart, he did not show it. Unexpectedly, he fell into Wangshi's trap. Kunpeng suddenly realized at this moment. He also escaped from the trap and fled with the remnant soul of the man. Find that person's location and eliminate him completely. The only bloodline of that innate demon god. Even if Tiandao joins in, it can only contain the opponent. Sometimes what you see with your eyes may not necessarily be true, and what you hear with your ears may not necessarily be false. That man was able to repel everyone with his own strength. Also, both sides suffered losses in the fight with him. Even if he is trapped by the curse of heaven. There was a hint of murderous intent in Hung Jun's voice. He seemed to know what he was thinking. But at this moment that really comes. Although preparations for this war had been made countless years ago. Then he said solemnly, I was the one who was abrupt. But they missed one Wangshu. The war that year. They summoned all the demon clan and launched an encirclement and suppression campaign in Mount Sumi. Presumably that person has also been reincarnated. Then he said calmly, in the war back then, do you really think we won with our strength? Even such a terrifying existence appeared. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 363. When Hung Jun heard this, a look of surprise flashed in his eyes. Have you found out where it is? Kunpeng nodded, in the vast world, now in the golden body realm, it is just an ant that has not risen. Hung Jun did not agree with Kunpeng's view. Then he pointed to the sun in the sky, everything is possible in this world. For humans, the sun is just a lighting thing. But how could they have thought that the sun they depend on would one day become the executioner who devours them? Although mortals today do not have the power to shake us, one day they will become existences above us. He was the best back then. As soon as these words were spoken, a terrifying murderous intention erupted from Patriarch Hung Jun's body. Kunpeng is not an elm tree. As soon as he said this, he already knew how powerful it was. Then he nodded, Kunpeng understands that some people need to be completely killed when they grow up. Hung Jun nodded with satisfaction, you can teach me. Then the figure disappeared from sight. At the same time, Glacier Continent. Xiao Xian is practicing in seclusion. But suddenly received a message from the system. Since the last war, it has been a long time since I received a mission from the system. This time it comes at the right time. Ding. It has been detected that a powerful enemy has invaded the Xiao family in the vast world. Now a mission is issued to kill the powerful enemy. After completing the mission, you will get a breakthrough to a great level. This voice rang in my mind. A smile appeared on Xiao Xian's lips. With a big breakthrough, he can break through to the realm of half-step Xianxian. By then, even if the Golden Immortal is here, he will still have the ability to fight. But there are no enemies in the vast world. Why are powerful enemies still attacking? Now a powerful enemy in the entire heaven. Even if he was strong, he wouldn't dare to attack him. Now, no one in the world dares to move easily. Not to mention the vast world. But soon he was reminded of the final mastermind. I'm afraid that Yeshu's soul awakened and attracted the attention of people in that world. And follow this breath to the vast world. This also caused the Xiao family to face the crisis of destruction in the vast world. Now that they have come to the door, I can't sit still and wait for death. The only way to do this is to go to the vast world in person. Looking at Yeshu sleeping soundly and sweetly in front of him. The scene he saw in the cave once again appeared in his mind. The time that Yeshu could stay with him. Perhaps she paid a huge price for it. Just like back then, he risked his own life to gain a little life for him. If you can't become stronger, something like that will happen again. That kind of life and death thing happened once. There will never be a second time. Before being able to face those people, he must work hard to improve, and the only way is to make continuous breakthroughs. Only then can you become strong enough to protect the people you want to protect. At this time, Yeshu slowly opened his eyes, looking sleepy. Xiao Xian's heart was a little palpitating. You're awake. Yeshu stretched a lot. The voice was lazy. Well, it feels like you have something on your mind, so you can't sleep. Xiao Xian touched her head lovingly. His eyes were full of love. You just follow my every move. A hint of shyness appeared on Yeshu's face. As your lover, it is my duty to care about you. Then would you like to check my injuries for me? Xiao Xian's words made Yeshu's heart clench together instantly. Where are you injured? Let me see. Here, there are no bones, but it is extremely hard. Look, what is the problem? What? Yeshu blushed for a moment. Well, I have a prescription here. Just follow this prescription and get the medicine. Yeshu's eyes widened. Can I still take medicine? Of course, stir-fried seafood and dried shrimps will cure your illness. Xiao Xian's face was full of pride. How long can it last? Yeshu looked at the boneless but extremely hard thing. He gestured with his hand. I might not be able to fit it in. How big the sea is, how long the medicine will be effective. Xiao Xian's words made Yeshu's eyes widen instantly. So powerful. You'll know if you try it? Yeshu looked confused. Do you really want to eat it? But that one is a bit salty. Xiao Xian sighed. Half supporting his body, I am originally a young man who has never touched the spring water. It seems that I have to touch some water. Then he looked at Yeshu seriously. Besides sweat, don't waste any water today. Well, I just like the life of men farming and women weaving. When Yeshu opened his eyes again, he found Xiao Xian chatting with Yejun. Although she can listen to the content directly. But maintaining trust is a sign of respect for your partner. So he waited until the two of them had finished chatting before standing up. Saw Yeshu appear. Xiao Xian's eyes naturally softened. There was even a trace of affection on his face. Such a scorching gaze made her face extremely hot. Why don't you sleep more? If you can't sleep, get up and take a look. It's just a good time to move around. As he spoke, he stretched out a lot. The soft and boneless body reminded Xiao Xian of the wonderful feeling of being soaked in water. Yejun took the initiative to withdraw from the sight of the two of them very interestingly. By the way, what are you talking about? Yeshu's face was like a burning cloud. I'm going to go to the Xiao family in the vast world. Xiao Xian's eyes were firm. That's where you stayed in the first place. As soon as Xiao Xian's words came out, she roughly guessed the answer. It seems that her awakening has been noticed by those in the prehistoric world. Even the original location where Xiaoxian was taken was searched. This is not a good thing for them. No matter how much time Xiaoxian spent to break through, it is impossible to fight against people from that world in a short period of time. I'll go with you. I've never seen the scenery of other worlds. A big smile appeared on Yeshu's face. Even the darkness in Xiaoxian's heart was washed away. It's too dangerous to go here, so just wait here for me to come back. Xiaoxian's big hand rubbed Yeshu's fair face. The sun shone on the two of them. Two long figures were drawn out, and the birds were singing and the flowers were fragrant. The gentle breeze blows, and the black hair flutters, and then becomes entangled. Form a beautiful picture. Are you still going to make me wait? Yeshu's pitiful appearance made Xiaoxian unbearable. How could he bear to leave her side? But how could he not know the final result of Yeshu going with him? The pain of losing a loved one is as painful as trying it once. Okay, but you have to listen to me. Xiaoxian gently kissed her forehead. Yeshu smiled and hugged him tightly. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 364. After the two men repaired themselves, they said goodbye to Yejun. Before leaving, Xiaoxian talked to Yejun alone. Although Yeshu is your domain master, since she chooses to continue to stay in this world as Yeshu, the etiquette that should belong to her must not be less. After the boundless world and his party came back this time, I will prepare for her wedding to give the love between her and me a perfect outcome. Yejun was shocked when he heard these words. When he heard that Xiaoxian was Xiaoxian, the head of the Xiao family in Zushan continent, the whole person felt as if he had been struck by a bolt from the blue, and was so shocked that he could not speak. But the whole thing soon became clear. The reason why Yeshu chose this time to wake up. Maybe it's because of him. He didn't know what happened before. But you can guess it from her expression back then. The person she protected with her life. How important it is to her. Xiaoxian's actions were worthy of her years of waiting. The day of departure. Xiaoxian thought. There was a cry from above the sky. Everyone looked up. There is a big bird in the sky that is glowing with red light. It is coming towards the ground quickly. When they take a closer look, only to find that it was a firebird whose whole body was burning with blazing fire. As soon as Bai Fangniao appeared, everyone in Glacier Continent was shocked. This is a spiritual beast from the celestial realm. Not to mention the Glacier Continent, there is no one in the entire world. The main island of the Xiao family is really as mysterious and powerful as the rumors say. Miss Yes family also got a great opportunity this time in the Northern Territory secret realm. Now they are in the Golden Immortal realm. In this way, the Xiao family and the Ye family can be regarded as a strong alliance. Under the spotlight, he also followed Xiaoxian and stepped on Bai Fangniao's back. Heading towards the boundless world. The vast world. Jikul City. A middle-aged man walked back and forth anxiously. An extremely solemn expression appeared on his face. When I saw the people inside the house walking out with heavy faces, he quickly stepped forward and asked, "How is it? Is there any reply from above?" The people above said that the acting head of the family will personally come down to check the cause. What? As soon as these words came out, the middle-aged man was shocked. Coming here in person on behalf of the family leader? Then he doesn't want to kill himself to cultivate. How can this be done? The situation is serious now. Even if the acting head of the family comes in person, he may not be able to solve the problem. The old man who came out of the room had wrinkles on his face. But his eyes are extremely bright. This person is the current priest of the Xiao family in Jikul City. Responsible for contacting the conversations between the Xiao family in Zushan continent and the Xiao family in Jikul City. Normally it will not be used. This person will only be invited to appear unless there is a family crisis. Just like this change in the vast world. Xiao Zhensong, the head of the Xiao family in Jikou City, was shocked when he heard this. Even coming here as the head of the family can't solve the problem. He learned that the acting head of the family, Xiao Tianyuan, was now in the realm of an immortal. Can't even such a terrifying existence solve the family crisis? Do you really want the head of the family to come in person? At this time, thunder and lightning continued to roar from the sky. The deafening and terrifying sound shocked countless people. The entire vast world was in chaos at this moment. What kind of existence can cause natural phenomena? In this world, the most powerful one is the god of war. All the powerful people in the upper realm need to cultivate themselves. Is there anyone who can ignore the rules of heaven and pass through the barrier of that world? Such a terrifying momentum gave me a suffocating feeling of death. Who is it? Why are you attacking people in the vast world? No, this pressure seems to be heading towards the Xiao family in Jikou City. A cry from the crowd. It attracted countless people to look at him. I saw that terrifying power above the sky. Keep heading towards the Xiao family. This scene aroused the horror of all living beings in the vast world. Although the Xiao family in Jikou City is the largest force in the vast world, they will not offend such a terrifying existence. What's more, the Xiao family has a more powerful presence in Zushan continent. Their ancestor Xiao Xian is an existence in the earthly immortal realm. Not to mention that no one in the vast world dares to provoke him, even in all the heavens and continents, few people dare to fight him. How could you provoke such a terrifying existence? There was a lot of chatter in the crowd for a while. Everyone in the Xiao family also felt this terrifying pressure coming. At that moment, their bodies seemed to be firmly imprisoned by complete shackles. Unable to move at all. Xiao Zhensong has the cultivation level of a Tao-killing king. Almost no one in the vast world dares to be his enemy. However, under such pressure, he actually had the terrifying feeling of being shaken by ants. Where is Xiao Xian? A terrifying roar came from the sky. The deafening sound echoed in the eardrums of countless people. It made everyone present fearful. Xiao Zhensong looked at the sky in horror. But all he saw was a blurry black figure. Could it be that he is the enemy of his ancestors? Because you don't dare to take action against your ancestors, you choose to target weak people like them. But it was quickly denied by Xiao Zhensong himself. You might even lose your life because of it. Even if he knew, it would be impossible to rush there in a short time. Xiao Jiangxin's expression instantly became serious. In this case, why should she tell the other party? Just because I am not strong enough to bring those people to the upper realm. The terrifying pressure came again, and everyone became suffocated at this moment. There is only Hong Huang. As soon as these words came out, both of them knew the seriousness of this matter. It's not optimistic. According to Xiao Zhensong's description, that person is probably not from our world. Someone who can seek revenge from the Xiao family and is not in this world. So he said without hesitation, there is no such person as Xiao Xian here. Xiao Tianyuan received information about Jikou City. However, Xiao Xian is looking for the time and space totem in the outside world. It's them. When he went to all heavens and realms. I'm afraid I don't even know this happened. Even if you are an immortal, you will lose half of your cultivation when swallowed by this tower. Xiao Jiangxin came to ask anxiously. But even so, the terrifying barrier in the lower realm cannot be avoided. At the same time, as soon as this statement came out, then the two looked at each other, and a thought flashed through their minds. At that time, even if he has the ability to deal with that existence in Zushan continent. I felt very impatient in my heart. Even if Xiao Xian can rush over, he may not be able to deal with that person. Thunder and lightning broke out in the sky, and the thunder and lightning that struck down instantly scorched the earth black. It is simply impossible to complete a counterattack in the vast world. When the family is in crisis, it can be dispatched urgently. Since the other party asked about the whereabouts of his ancestor, Xiao Jiangxin blurted out. The Xiao family in Zushan continent. How does that go? As soon as this statement came out. So there is a way to communicate directly with him. It proves that he does not know the specific address of his ancestor. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 365. But if we want to go down to the lower realm, we have to cultivate ourselves. I'm afraid we won't be able to cause any harm to them at all. Xiao Jiangxin broke through the current predicament with one word. Xiao Tianyun already had a solution to this problem. It doesn't matter, since the people of that world dare to ignore the space barriers that exist between various small worlds. It proves that his strength may be more terrifying than the Golden Immortal, but such terror also has drawbacks. Xiao Tianyun had just finished speaking. Xiao Jiangxin knew what he meant. Use the deterrence brought by this spell to destroy the barrier of the lower world. Although this can help them solve their current problems. But destroy the barrier between the heavens and the boundless world. It will also cause other more serious situations. Just like the powerful men from all the worlds go directly to the lower realms. The huge disparity in power will directly cause the cultivators in the lower realm to be unable to survive. Xiao Tianyun has obviously thought of a solution that has both ends. You don't need to worry about the butterfly effect. If people in that world want to completely eradicate the head of the family, definitely not using such means, but choosing to conquer people's hearts, just like Leiyin Temple back then. From the first time I entered the secret realm, Xiao Tianyun discovered that people like Hung Jun were virtuous and respected on the surface. But if you look closely, you will find that they are like a big net, confining the people below tightly inside. Whenever a person discovers that the outside world is completely different, or want to change the current situation, they will treat them as an alternative or even a cult. Just like the demon ancestor Rahu in the battle between demons and gods. This time Hong Huang sent people to the vast world, the main target was the family head. So they will try every means to get us into his trap. You mean? Xiao Jiangxin suddenly opened his eyes wide. Yes, it's just as you thought. That's why we must unite as one. The two of them felt increasingly heavy in their hearts. Although they can be absolutely loyal. But, what about those people? With better options available, will they really choose to give up? In this world, no one will give up the opportunity to grow themselves. In the face of interests, even life and death are not necessarily reasons to persuade them to retreat. At the same time, the situation of the Xiao family in the vast world is becoming more and more serious. The pressure in the sky has plunged the entire Xiao family into silence. Many Xiao family disciples with low cultivation levels have been oppressed by this pressure and cannot breathe. There are also signs of separation between the soul and the body. Even Xiao Zhensong was a little overwhelmed. If this pressure continues to strengthen, then the entire Xiao family will disappear from the world at this moment. This scene also attracted the attention of countless forces. But due to the strength of the other party, they all chose to wait and see. To them, the Xiao family is a huge cake. But because of his strong background, no one dared to touch him. Now a powerful enemy appears, for whatever reason. No matter what is right or wrong. As long as the Xiao family falls, they will be able to carve up countless benefits. For them, profit is paramount. Just when everyone thought the Xiao family was about to die, the coercion in the sky suddenly disappeared without a trace. A giant figure appeared in the sky. The dark clouds shrouded the body, enough to open up the world. It shocked countless people. Xiao family, as long as you hand over Xiao Xian, you will receive supreme glory. The figure in the sky slowly spoke. The low voice caused the ground to tremble. Xiao Zhensong and others used all their spiritual energy to resist the attack. The sudden release of force caused them to collapse to the ground. I can't even do basic exercises and meditation. If someone were to offend at this moment, they would not be able to resist at all. Xiaoxian. Isn't Xiaoxian our ancestor? Yes, our ancestors have already traveled to the heavens and worlds tens of millions of years ago. Why would this person come to the vast world to look for him? This power is not like that of our world. Even the enemies provoked by our ancestors should not find us here. Everyone in the Xiao family was talking about it for a while. The power above the sky snorted coldly. Obviously he doesn't like the cultivation level of these people. In his eyes, these people are like ants. As long as he raises his hand, he can destroy them. Xiao Zhensong heard this. Then he stood up with difficulty. There was a look of hatred on his face. You can call the ancestor by his name. Don't wait for him to stand up. A pressure came again. Boom. There was a loud noise. There was a shattering sound from Xiao Zhensong's kneecap. The severe pain made him break out in a cold sweat. Ridiculous. The voice in the sky revealed a deep sense of contempt. Obviously he didn't take Xiao Zhensong's resistance seriously. Foolish humans, as long as you hand over Xiaoxian, I will let you gain supreme glory. It doesn't matter whether it's a state of cultivation or glory and wealth. As long as you want it, I can help you realize it. As soon as this statement came out, a gasp of air came from the vast world. He was obviously shocked by these words. What kind of strong and powerful person would say such a thing? Is it God? Strength is the right to speak. What could be more desirable than transcendence? After everyone in the Xiao family heard these words. Even everyone in the Xiao family heard these words. Is he really a god? What a shock! I am the ancient divine beast of Deluo Jingxian. If possible, I can teach you how to transcend, and even accept you as a disciple. Although the other party is just a monster. Obviously the other party's words moved their hearts. Even if the head of the family is here, there is only one way to die. The figure saw this. A demonic beast actually has the terrifying strength of Deluo Jingxian. Yes, this person is here to target the ancestor. As long as we reveal his whereabouts, we can resolve the crisis. For them. No wonder he would say such seductive words. The longing in his eyes was revealed unabashedly. What's the harm in becoming the apprentice of a monster? I was speechless for a moment. Everyone was shocked. Originally, he was counting on people from the upper realm of the Xiao family to come to support him. In this way, we can still preserve a trace of the Xiao family's bloodline. In my heart, I despised the so-called unity of these low-level humans. Deluo Jingxian. There was a hint of hesitation. Only the existence of the legendary god can have such terrifying abilities. At this moment, I even lost my mind. For a time, people in the vast world had different thoughts. A monster beast actually has the cultivation level of Deluo Jingxian. Then he looked up at the sky with horrified eyes. But being able to cultivate to Deluo Jingxian is already an object that countless people cannot catch up with. The world of practitioners. The figure's words once again shocked everyone. Even the cultivators in the heavens do not have such terrifying existence. Since it means death anyway, why not choose the conditions, he said. Even if our ancestors come here, they can't save us. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 366. Everyone in the Xiao family immediately weighed the pros and cons. Since that monster came to see Xiaoxian, Then why don't they choose to save themselves? Anyway, this is a battle that belongs to their top brass. If Xiao Xian's traces were told to this monster, it can be exchanged for a breakthrough in cultivation, which is also a good thing. After all, the Xiao family is about to die. Leaving a trace of blood in the world does not count as total annihilation. At this time, someone in the crowd spoke first. Master, in my opinion, we might as well tell him the whereabouts of our ancestor. The ancestor can't defeat him anyway, both the left and right will die. Even if we betray our ancestor, he will definitely understand. We are also thinking about this family. As soon as these words came out, Xiao Zhensong became furious. Presumptuous. Our ancestor has been so kind to us, how could he do such a thing? If you say such words again, get out of the Xiao family. However, his words did not arouse the fear of the Xiao family. On the contrary, many senior elders of the Xiao family were even angry and dissatisfied because of this. Then he stood up and said angrily, Xiao Zhensong, if Xiao Xian is powerful, we can be forgiven for protecting him. But now there is only one way to die. Do we really have to wait for death? If you want to die, don't get involved with us. If we tell them about Xiao Xian's traces, we can get a breakthrough in our cultivation realm. He's not too depressed. The figure in the sky saw this scene. There was deep mockery in his eyes. In his eyes, these ants talk about so-called unity. But for the same benefit. When benefits are unevenly distributed, quarrels can arise. What he likes the most is watching these ignorant humans tear their faces apart. Human, your choice is correct. As long as you can tell me Xiao Xian's location, you will get a ray of my golden immortal consciousness. You can ignore all obstacles in the realm and directly break through the golden immortal. As soon as this statement came out, everyone showed an incredibly shocked expression. The golden immortal consciousness that ignores the shackles of realm. As long as you obtain this ray of consciousness, you can become the strongest person in the world. Such an opportunity is impossible to encounter in this life. At this moment, the Xiao family elders completely confirmed their inner thoughts. The look in Xiao Zhensong's eyes actually contained a hint of disdain. Master, since you don't want to be this evil person, then let me do it. As long as I tell him the traces of my ancestor, I can exchange for the golden fairyland. When the time comes, leave the important task of restoring the family's glory to me. Then he took a step forward. The body moved towards the huge figure. However, an unexpected scene occurred. Xiao Zhensong's sword actually penetrated the elder's body directly. There was a strong murderous intent on his face. Then he shook his body and looked at the Xiao family behind him. Even at this moment, he has broken his double happiness. We must also swear to protect Xiao Xian to the death. This scene also aroused fear among the other elders of the Xiao family. Xiao Zhensong is the most powerful cultivator in the Xiao family. Even at this moment, my knees were broken by that terrifying existence. It can also kill an elder in the Dao realm. So everyone fell into silence. Even if they want to reveal Xiao Xian's traces. Don't dare to risk your life. This scene aroused the dissatisfaction of the monster. In his eyes, those humans should kill each other. Instead of trying your best to protect the person you want to protect. This is not what hypocritical humans should do. They should be like animals, killing each other. Eat their own kind to survive. Humph, dying struggle. He pointed out a finger, and a terrifying coercion instantly fell on Xiao Zhensong. A matter of a moment. Xiao Zhensong was so suppressed that he didn't even have the strength to move. There were constant sounds of breaking from the bones in the body. Even the soul seemed to be held tightly by a big hand. At this moment, the suffocating feeling of drowning made him want to beg for mercy. But the pride deep in his bones told him that he could not surrender. Xiao Xian is the ancestor of the Xiao family and represents the entire Xiao family. If he dies, then the Xiao family is really dead. As long as Xiao Xian lives for one day, the monster in front of him can't do anything to them. If you really tell him Xiao Xian's traces, that is real death. When the monster saw this, its dissatisfaction deepened. But he didn't want to let this man die so soon. He wanted to see the painful appearance of those human beings who were unable to survive or die. In his eyes, that is a great enjoyment. But at this moment, an ultimate sword light came from the sky. The sharp sword energy came towards the phantom instantly. Along with the sword energy, there is also a desolate atmosphere. Two extremely terrifying auras swept over him instantly. The pressure exerted on Xiao Zhensong by that demonic beast was broken with one sword. Under the incredible gaze of everyone, two figures appeared in front of him. It was Xiao Tianyun and Xiao Jiangxin. Everyone in the vast world saw this scene. His eyes suddenly showed disbelief. Cultivation practitioners from all over the world. Why are they here? Why is their cultivation level not affected in any way? Therefore, the clone created will not be affected by the barrier. Because the tree of life is the innate spiritual root from ancient times. He even lost his life because of it. Unfair. God is unfair. Why? Are you here to die too? He's actually an immortal. However, when they jumped off one after another, why can those people from the Xiao family go to the lower realm without any influence, so as to reach the lower realm smoothly? This scene shocked countless people. Xiao Tianyun, Xiao Jiangxin, and others went to the lower realm. Even an immortal cannot cross that barrier unscathed. The appearance of Xiao Tianyun and Xiao Jiangxin. He is actually a human cultivator in the immortal realm. Is that interesting? Then we came to the junction of the heavens and the boundless world. Once the Xiao family is destroyed, it will be a good thing for us. At that time, the entire vast world will be ours. What method did they use? It was clear that the Xiao family could come from all over the world to support without hindrance. Since the Xiao family can go down from here, so can we. Even those people from the upper world all appeared at this time. I want to try to get into it. All because of the tree of life. Everyone was talking about it for a while. It also attracted the attention of countless forces. Why can't they when it comes? Yes, the secret of Xiao Xian's breakthrough will be completely solved this time. Use the tree of life to create a stand-in for yourself. The appearance of Xiao Tianyun and Xiao Jiangxin. In this vast world, here I come. Ha ha ha. But they all wailed. Naturally, it also attracted the attention of the monster. At the same time. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 367. The monster looked at the two people in front of it with interest. Don't take them seriously at all. In his opinion, except for saints and quasi-sages, there are no opponents. Two mere immortals are nothing to be afraid of. Even if 4 more people come, they are no match for it. Xiao Tianyun frowned slightly when he saw this. It turned out to be a demonic beast of the great Luo Jingxian. Such a monster, even cultivators of the same level are no match here. Not to mention people like them. Xiao Jiangxin and Xiao Tianyun looked at each other. Obviously they could see the caution and worry in each other's eyes. Such a monster, even if they choose to self-destruct, there is no way he can be his opponent. Even if a saint comes here, we will intercept you here. Xiao Jiangxin swung his sword. A flash of extreme sword light instantly swept across the sky, heading towards the monster. However, such a terrifying blow. However, the monster disappeared with a single wave of his hand. To me, this is just like an embroidery needle, it doesn't pose any threat at all. The monster sneered. It turned into a translucent human form and appeared in front of Xiao Tianyun and others. Xiao Tianyuan frowned slightly. Although I already know how powerful he is. But I didn't expect it to be so terrifying. Even if he joins forces with Xiao Jiangxin, it is impossible to cause any harm to him. At this time, several figures appeared behind them. Turning around and looking, it turned out to be Xiao Qingyuan, Xiao Zhangtian, Xiao Yan, Xiao Jinjian, Xiao Zhaiqiu, Xiao Yanyao, Xiao Yuking, and others. Why are you here? Xiao Jiangxin was filled with surprise. Obviously he did not expect Xiao Qingyuan and the others to appear here. When they come out, and no one knows. Even the roaring dog in the family was not alarmed. But they followed closely without being discovered by them. Xiao Yan laughed playfully. Why, you are only allowed to serve the head of the family, but we are not allowed to come. A smile appeared on Xiao Qingyuan's cold face. Now is the time to test our tacit understanding. Such an opportunity is very rare. Not only that. They even brought the roaring sky dog and the three-legged golden crow. Even if the strength is not enough. Isn't it possible to assist? Xiao Yuking took a step forward. This time, in order to help the head of the family, I even sacrificed my time to play with my brothers and sisters. Xiao Tianyuan breathed a sigh of relief. With their joining, it will become Deluo Jingxian. There is also the possibility of a war. Except for Bifang Niao, who was taken away by the family owner, the other mythical beasts are all within the family's residence. Their cultivation level is the same as that of the family head. And even better than the head of the family. So there is no need to worry about being unable to win. Just when Xiao Tianyuan and others were preparing to attack, Xiao Junlin's figure also hurriedly appeared behind everyone. You should wait for me. You didn't even notify me when you came out to fight against powerful enemies. Even Kyanki set up a family camp. Just in case, I even brought the demon locking tower here. The appearance of Xiao Junlin made the pressure on everyone in the Xiao family disappear instantly. How could they forget such an important person? In the demon locking tower, Kyanki is an invincible existence. If you put this monster in, then everyone was happy. A plan was born in their minds. Even without communicating, you can know what to do next. However, the monster didn't know that it had been completely targeted by these people. Xiao Tianyuan breathed a long sigh of relief. A perfect plan gradually took shape in my mind. Before locking him into the demon locking tower, let's practice our skills first. It's just right to improve each other's weaknesses. After all, there are not many monsters in Deluo Jingxian. Xiao Tianyuan's words. The recognition was unanimously recognized by everyone in the Xiao family. But these words made the demonic beast look up to the sky and laugh. A few mere immortals dare to practice with me. They really don't know how to live or die. Since you are seeking death, then as you wish, I will send you to the west. Then a physical attack broke out. Xiao Qingyuan chanted the Buddha's name. A golden Buddha light blessed Xiao Tianyuan, Xiao Jiangxin, Xiao Zhangtian, Xiao Yan, and Xiao Jinjian. As several people launched their offensive, the Buddha's light also blessed several people like a natural barrier. Block most of the attacks for them. Xiao Tianyuan's Blood Sea ability also exploded at this moment. Then the entire monster was enveloped inside. The boundless desolation aura instantly enveloped everyone. The devouring ability of the Blood Sea continuously absorbs the spiritual power of the monster beast. Convert it into Xiao Tianyuan's own attack power. After the last battle with the pseudo-immortal, Xiao Tianyuan transformed the absorption ability of the Blood Sea into combat power. No matter how high level the monster is, as long as it's in his blood, all spiritual power will become his fighting power, and accelerate the consumption of the opponent's spiritual energy. But against this Deluo Jingxian monster, the sky is so big that I am the only one who is the most powerful. As time continues to pass, Xiao Yan, Xiao Jinjian, Xiao Zhangtian, and others were able to proceed more smoothly. especially after Xiao Yuqing and Xiao Yanyao came on stage. Define them directly as your own human pets. A coffin? Humph. Are you still thinking of devouring me? So this also gives him a good buffer time. Your firepower is indeed good, but it's just too weak. Sui Hai's ability is indeed good, but it's a pity that you are just an immortal and can't cause any harm to me at all. Coupled with Xiao Tianyun's Blood Sea ability, the devouring power of the Blood Sea continues to increase, devouring the other party's spiritual power without him even realizing it. Xiao Tianyun chose to change his fighting method. It made the monster tremble with laughter. However, in the eyes of the monster, everyone's plan was ridiculous. He even looked at Xiao Yan, Xiao Zhangtian, and Xiao Jamian, who were jumping around in front of him with even more disdain. With the blessing of Xiao Qingyun's Buddha's light, everyone in the Xiao family became more and more courageous in fighting. Reduce the devouring ability of the Blood Sea. However, the serious injuries suffered by Xiao Yan and others made him ignore the idea that something was wrong. Your lightning power is just a tickling tool to me. This scene also attracted the attention of the monster beast. Now every move and style in their minds is to break through themselves. The monster's arrogant words continued to echo in the eardrums of Xiao Tianyun and others. Launch an attack on your own. However, they seemed not to have heard of it. A series of flirtatious words kept popping up. But he discovered that there was a crack in his body. The more powerful the enemy, the more they will ignore this subtle devouring ability. This scene made his eyes widen in disbelief. Red Peak Spear, Immortal Shield, kill the Immortal King and it will be heaven. My spiritual power is endless. Unless the real Sea of Blood is here, it can't hurt me at all. The top of the immortals, proud of the world, and I, Xiao Yanyao, are heaven. However, when he reached out to grab Xiao Yanyao, what a human doll. It's a good choice for me as a pet. It will definitely be a lot of fun. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 368. The reason why he was sent by Kunpeng to find Xiao Xian. Not only because his cultivation level has reached the Luo Jingxian. It's even more because of his special physique. No matter what kind of strong person the opponent is, even if he is a quasi-sage, it would take some time to cause damage to his body as hard as steel. Not to mention just a few little immortals. The changes at this moment forced him to become serious. When Xiao Yanyao saw this, he crossed his arms over his chest and inserted the Chifeng gun into the ground. The wild words are outputted wildly. Sure enough, once I, Xiao Yanyao, make a move, even Deluo Jingxian will not be a problem. Those who chant my true name will see eternal life in reincarnation. The top of the immortals, proud of the world, I am the heaven. Little monster, take your life. The output of these words is slutty. The crowd around the world was stunned. This person is only a quasi-immortal, yet he dares to make such arrogant remarks. Although his fighting power is off the charts, facing a monster like the great Luo Jingxian, there is only one way to die. If I surrender obediently, I might be able to keep a whole body, but now I'm afraid I will be tortured to death by the other party. For a time, countless people shook their heads. It was obvious that Xiao Yanyao must die. Xiao Yuqing on the side saw that his limelight had been stolen by him. Suddenly I felt that it was damaging to my image as a man. I saw him punch out. The terrifying fist power landed directly on the gaping wound of the monster beast. At that moment, the smelly monster blood spurted out. Xiao Yuqing evaded again and again. Watch me become a hit. Retreat to a suitable location. Xiao Yuqing aimed at the opportunity and brought down the long stick in his hand quickly and accurately. Ouch! The monster howled in response to the sudden severe pain. Wait for him to take a closer look. But found the crack. At this moment, the flesh and blood were mangled, and the appearance of dripping blood completely angered him. Stupid human beings have caused me such pain. I asked you to jump around a few times, and you really thought you were capable of anything. Then launched the attack without any nonsense. I saw the figure of a black wolf slowly appearing in front of everyone. The sharp fangs glowed with green light. The hair on the body is as hard as iron. If it accidentally falls on his back, it will become bloody fruit. When Xiao Tianyuan saw this, he knew that the monster was completely angered. Then the blood sea's conversion ability was strengthened. Quickly swallowing the spiritual power of the monster, and then converting it into combat power. Xiao Qingyuan also summoned the Imperial Jade Seal at this time. The name of Buddha in his mouth has been changed several times. Xiao Yan, Xiao Jinjian, Xiao Zhangtian, and others took Xiao Tianyuan and the three-legged golden crow to move separately. Xiao Qingyuan's Buddhist name has healing power. Therefore, under the protection of the blood sea's ability, his body is hidden. Pass on a steady stream of vitality to the Xiao family. In this way, even if the monster's spiritual power is very powerful, there is always a moment of being consumed. Xiao Tianyuan's blood sea ability has a devouring effect. Coupled with his clone technique of transforming into freedom, visually blind the monster's eyes. The bloody smell of the sea of blood can confuse his sense of smell. This provides cover for other Xiao family members to launch an attack. Xiao Yan's Samadhi true fire can burn everything in the world. Plus the terrifying temperature of the three-legged golden crow. Both parties cooperated to launch long-range attacks on the monsters. Jamal Xiao cooperated with Xiao Yanyao and launched a close attack on the monster. Xiao Yuking's coquettish tactics provided cover for Xiao Junlin. Find opportunities for him to release the demon locking tower and help Qianqi kill the monsters. The Xiao family's cooperation is extremely tacit. It makes the vast world stunned. Even the powerful men in the heavens saw this scene. They couldn't help but show horrified looks. I thought that the Xiao family's prodigy's combat prowess was already terrifying. I never thought that their tacit understanding would be beyond comparison. Even the twins have cooperated for countless years. It is impossible to achieve the tacit understanding of the Xiao family. The monster's vision and smell abilities are disrupted. It is impossible to tell the true location of Xiao Tianyuan and others. Coupled with the devouring ability of the blood sea, it has consumed a lot of his spiritual energy. Until this moment. Only then did the monster realize that it had been plotted by several immortals because of its carelessness. Despicable human. You actually used such dirty methods to deal with me. If I can't kill you, I won't be able to face Master. With the roar sounded, everyone in the Xiao family immediately retreated. Even Xiao Tianyuan withdrew the sea of blood. See this scene. The corners of the monster's mouth rose. Now I know I'm afraid, it's too late. Then he looked up to the sky and roared, his body rising into the air. The huge body instantly covered the entire sky. In an instant, the sky and the earth were pitch black. I can't see my fingers. At this time, Xiao Tianyuan's voice was transmitted from the sky to everyone's eardrums. It's now. Next moment, a huge tower fell from the sky. Golden light instantly enveloped the monster's body. In the eyes of countless people who were horrified and questioning, the monster was sucked into the monster locking tower. Everyone in the Xiao family looked at the scene in front of them. He walked towards the demon locking tower with a solemn expression. Then they entered the demon locking tower together. Because this monster belongs to Delugo Jinxian. Therefore, he was locked up in the tower on the top floor. The monster saw this scene. At first, I was confused. Then he sneered again and again, a mere tower is trying to imprison me. You are really overestimating your capabilities. Look how I destroyed this broken tower. When I go out, I will show you what Delugo Jinxian is. With the roar sounded, the entire demon locking tower trembled. A lot of dust flew up and the walls broke. The monsters in the demon locking tower even made carnival sounds. Great. I'm finally going to be liberated. Come out. I'm coming out. It's Deludo Jinxian's monster. God is really helping me. When this king sees the light of day again, I will definitely bring ruin to the Xiao family. For a time, countless shouts sounded one after another. Arrogant faces appeared in the sight of everyone in the Xiao family. Even if they have confidence in the demon locking tower. But he also started to worry. Xiao Jiangxin looked at the crumbling demon locking tower with a solemn expression. Although Qianqi is invincible in the demon locking tower, the opponent is a Deludo Jinxian monster, and it is really difficult to deal with it. When Xiao Tianyun heard this, his expression became heavy. If I really can't deal with him, I will lock him in even if I risk my life. As soon as these words came out, everyone in the Xiao family watched the situation in the demon locking tower intently. Even if there is the slightest bit of trouble, he will pounce on him at any time. However, the roaring sky dog on the side walked over unsteadily. He jumped and landed on the top of the demon locking tower. Its eyes are indifferent, and its body exudes an aura of world weariness. It seems that there is nothing in this world that can make it feel scared. Although it has now reached the state of transformation. But with his current strength, it is absolutely impossible to face the disaster caused by transformation alone. Therefore, we can only wait for Xiao Xian's arrival. Looking at the situation inside the demon locking tower, Roaring Sky Dog said slowly. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 369. Everyone in the Xiao family looked at Roaring Sky Dog intently. Now, it and Qianqi's several divine beasts are at the highest level of cultivation in the family. If even Qianqi couldn't kill that monster, then they really have no choice but to sacrifice their lives for their lives. Roaring Sky Dog naturally knows what they are thinking. I saw him lying lazily on the top of the demon locking tower. His eyelids were drooped, looking drowsy. Xiao Tianyun and others breathed a sigh of relief. If the Roaring Sky Dog was on alert, they would really be worried. This appearance proves that Qianqi has the absolute ability to kill that monster. Daodi is one of the top 10 monsters in ancient times. He is so easy to talk to after meeting Xiao Xian. Even if it doesn't have the level of cultivation of Deludo Jinxian, when the wolf demon saw it. Because of the absolute suppression of his bloodline, he would not dare to do anything wrong to him. If the monster knew what he was doing, Qianqi might choose to let him go, but obviously the other party is not a discerning monster. When Roaring Sky Dog said his last words, I yawned and looked at what was going on below. Then he slowly closed his eyes, seeming very sleepy. Xiao Jiangxin wanted to ask something else, but Xiao Tianyun stopped him as soon as the words came to his lips. Now that Senior Roaring Sky Dog has said this, we can relax. He had observed Qianqi's specialness when he was in the secret realm. At that time, he may not have been the most powerful being. But in the heavens, all the monsters saw it, revealing a sense of fear emanating from his bones. At this time, there were trembling sounds in the demon locking tower. All the monsters and beasts that were originally enjoying themselves fell into silence at this moment. There was a strong sense of fear in the air. Intangible, yet extremely suffocating. That's it? Why is he here again? I don't want to encounter this terrifying existence again in my life. Every time I come into contact with it, it fills me with fear. The voices of the monsters and beasts made trembling sounds. Follow their gaze. But Qianqi was seen dragging his long tail and heading towards the top floor with a threatening look. The tail behind him swayed slightly, slapping against the prison on one side. After the shock, there was a bone-chilling pain that devoured the soul. Wherever it passed, there was endless wailing. The monster on the top floor looked at the crumbling monster lock tower. There was deep disdain on his face. Obviously he doesn't care about such a vulnerable demon locking tower. Humph. It's just a ruined attic. You want to trap me here? You really overestimate your capabilities. Let you see how I destroyed this demon locking tower. Monster locking tower? How ridiculous. I am Delogo Jinxian. With the roar sounded, a monstrous power instantly rushed into the sky. The entire demon locking tower kept shaking. All buildings in the tower were destroyed. The monster looked at his work with a proud expression. Then he transformed into a human form and crossed his chest with his hands, waiting for the collapse of the demon locking tower. However, the expected scene did not happen. Although the demon locking tower keeps shaking, but there was no intention of collapsing. The monster thought that his spell was not aimed at the right place, then launched the offensive again. However, this monstrous momentum also rushed into the sky, instantly turned into nothingness. How is this going? Why does this happen? Why doesn't this broken tower fall down? Could it be that there's another mystery here? The monster was filled with doubts. It's obviously just a dilapidated tower. Why can it withstand two such terrifying moves? It's not even affected at all. Even in the prehistoric world, such a thing did not exist. At this time, he suddenly felt a pressure coming towards him. It is different from the oppression of strength between cultivation realms. That is the suppression of blood. The suppression of bloodline belongs to that type no matter what level of cultivation you reach. They will all be suppressed by the high-level bloodline of your clan. Even if the opponent's strength is not as good as yours. Under that terrifying bloodline suppression, that feeling of fear radiated from the bottom of my heart. Feel this pressure coming on. The monster suddenly lost its composure. Except Zilong, Yuanfeng, and Kailan back then. In this world, he had never felt such a terrifying oppression before. Is it Zilong, Yuanfeng, or Kailan? The figures of those three people instantly appeared in his mind. But he soon denied himself. No, absolutely impossible. They have all disappeared for many years. They will never participate in the ancient war, let alone the world outside the heavens. But this idea was rejected by him again. Apart from these three divine beasts, he could not think of anyone else. At this moment, his body was already trembling slightly. My heartbeat was racing and I was sweating. It's obviously a Delogo Jinxian monster. At this moment, he became extremely frightened. Just like a frightened cute pet. Even if he hasn't seen that existence yet. This is a fear engraved in my bones. No, I have to leave this hellish place quickly, otherwise I won't lose my life here. Think about this. He quickly ran his skills, and then the terrifying aura erupted from his body. Then it soared into the air, and its huge body slammed into the wall of the demon locking tower. However, this dilapidated tower body, not as broken as he imagined. At this moment, he finally discovered the weirdness of this demon locking tower. However, he didn't wait until the monster continued to act. I saw a huge figure slowly appearing in front of me. Looking from a distance, he saw a monster that looked like a tiger, was as big as an ox, but had a pair of wings walking towards him. As soon as this monster appeared, it made him feel the excitement of his heart beating like a drum. It seems like Kyanki. The monster's eyes widened instantly. His eyes were full of disbelief. The body subconsciously took a few steps back. Even if he thinks he is Delogo Jinxian, he also showed a timid expression when he saw Kyanki. Obviously he was full of fear of Kyanki. This scene naturally attracted surprised looks from everyone in the Xiao family. I didn't expect this terrifying wolf demon to be so cowardly. Xiao Junlin smacked his tongue repeatedly, obviously in disbelief that this was the aura displayed by a Jinxian monster. This way, it's no different from the pets I keep. Xiao Yuqing looked on with some disdain. I thought this monster would have its own backbone. The result turned out to be a bully that bullies the weak and fears the strong. At the same time, Kyanqi's figure has appeared in front of the wolf demon. Looking at the trembling wolf demon in front of him, there was a look of extreme disdain in his eyes. I saw his tail wagging slightly. It hit the ground hard. As a loud noise came, the wolf demon instantly collapsed with its legs and fell to the ground. Is this the strength of the Jinxian monster? It's really ridiculous. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 370. As soon as this statement came out, the wolf demon suddenly became angry with shame. An unknown anger suddenly emerged from the bottom of his heart. He was even more angry in his heart. Although the person standing in front of him was Kyanqi, one of the 4 ferocious beasts in ancient times. But the opponent's strength is simply not as good as his. Not even half of him. Even if he is a terrifying existence in the world of monsters and beasts. But that was countless years ago. Maybe he is the only monster left in Kyanqi's clan. If he could kill Kyanqi in the world of monsters and beasts, he will be a mythical existence. Think of this. The wolf demon's fear of Kyanqi is not that profound. So he even stood up straight. Kyanqi, I advise you to be wise and let me go, otherwise you won't die. I don't know. It was clearly a threatening statement. But because of the wolf demon's several pauses and the fear in his heart, this threat also became ridiculous. Be aware of your own problems. The wolf demon directly exploded with power. If you want to rely on your realm to crush the opponent. However, his power just broke out. Kyanqi raised his feet. The sound of a heavy fall. The wolf demon's arrogance was suddenly suppressed. He even lost the courage to exercise his skills here. Seeing this, Kyanqi rolled his eyes coldly. As expected, the wolf demon clan is always so miserable. He will only rely on his own strength to bully the weak. After meeting a strong man, he turned into a dog with its tail between its legs. The idea just formed. The roaring sky dog on the demon locking tower was not happy. With the landing of an ultrasonic wave, Kyanqi's figure also changed accordingly. Then he appeared next to the wolf demon. Looking at the shivering wolf demon, the expression on Kyanqi's face was so cold that it could freeze him to death. Young little wolf demon, just because you have practiced magic for several years, you are so arrogant. You really don't know how high the world is. As soon as this statement came out, the wolf demon's body was trembling uncontrollably. Even the human form was so scared that he changed back. The size is similar to that of ordinary dogs. Seeing this scene, Kyanqi stepped down without hesitation. It's as if one more look would be an insult to one's own eyes. This scene shocked everyone. Even everyone in the Xiao family is ready to fight the wolf demon. In the end, the other party just said a harsh word. And then he was trampled to death by Kyanqi? Not even resisting. This scene really shocked them. Just die. So we were worried about being lonely just now. I was prepared for life and death, but Kyanqi ended it with just one kick. Is Kyanqi too powerful, or is the wolf demon too weak? Even Xiao Qingyun, whose expression has remained unchanged for thousands of years. He also looked horrified after seeing this. Is this the terrifying thing about ancient ferocious beasts? If I can make Kyanqi my mount, then can I even fight with the head of the family? An idea came to Xiao Qingyun's mind. But it was quickly rejected. I'm afraid that Kyanqi has already turned into meat before he can conquer it. But Xiao Qingyun had the idea of conquering an ancient monster as a mount. But it never stopped. The death of the wolf demon completely shocked the entire world. They didn't expect that there would be a more terrifying existence than Deluo Jinxian. What kind of monster is this? Even Deluo Jinxian felt such fear when he saw him. Is it possible that the monster is already a quasi-saint? It's too scary. How could there be such an existence in the heavens? Shocking. It's so shocking. Countless people were talking about it for a while. After everyone in the Xiao family saw that the crisis had been resolved, the whole person was completely relaxed. Xiao Tianyun took a group of people to the Xiao family in the vast world. At the moment of landing, the Xiao family in Jigu City instantly felt a sense of oppression coming towards them. Then they all knelt on the ground to welcome the arrival of several people. In the eyes of everyone in the Xiao family, Xiao Tianyun and others are godlike existences. Now they have killed a Deluo Jinxian monster. He also takes a few people as his ultimate goal. You are Xiao Zhensong, the head of the Xiao family. Xiao Tianyun pointed at Xiao Zhensong. In an instant, all the broken bones in his body were restored at this moment. Even the damage to the soul was repaired. Feel the changes in your body. Xiao Zhensong hurriedly knelt down to thank him. Thank you very much, Master, for saving my life. If Xiao Tianyun's soul power hadn't been injected into his body, he wouldn't have been able to survive. Xiao Zhensong is afraid that he will not survive for an hour. Xiao Tianyun just nodded lightly when he saw this. Then he said, if you didn't do your best to protect the head of the family, you wouldn't have suffered such a heavy blow. This is just a small effort on my part. Xiao Zhensong shook his head. It is my duty to protect the head of the family. Even if I die for the head of the family, I will have no regrets. He is very clear about the principle of both prosperity and loss. Even if he betrayed Xiao Xian for a moment of glory, it is impossible to exchange for one's own life. In the eyes of that wolf demon, they are just doll-like beings. Got what I wanted. They will be ravaged to death at all costs. The reward is just an excuse to cover up their sinful side. The Xiao family is lucky to have someone as loyal as you. I think the head of the family will look at you with admiration if he knows about it. Xiao Jiangxin stepped forward with a majestic look. The kendo aura radiating from the inside out of his body made everyone present make shocking sounds. It's a sword cultivator. It's actually a sword cultivator. The momentum that burst out from him actually made me have the urge to kneel down. I didn't expect a sword cultivator to be so powerful. I thought sword cultivators couldn't hold up a cultivator's world, but I never thought it was me who was short-sighted. In today's vast world, sword cultivators are already very rare. Even if there are sword cultivators, they are still the weakest type of cultivators. They spend their entire lives unable to master the true meaning of sword cultivation. The moment he saw Xiao Jiangxin, everyone suddenly realized. It's not that sword cultivators can't practice. It's that practitioners who practice swordsmanship have no sword heart. The heart of the sword not only refers to the heart of the sword, but more importantly, the heart of a person. It's them after picking up the sword. Still remember my true heart. And continue to explore and pursue for this original intention. The realm of swordsmanship exuded from Xiao Jiangxin. The practitioners practicing swordsmanship on the scene suddenly had an epiphany. At this moment, they understood the true meaning of swordsmanship. Just after Xiao Tianyun and others briefly explained some things to Xiao Zhensong and prepared to leave, the roar of thunder and lightning was heard again in the sky. This time, the lightning struck directly towards the Xiao family. This moment, the expressions of Xiao Tianyun and others changed drastically. He didn't dare to face the horror of this move directly.